Welcome back to the very last video in the 10 biggest website mistakes series. The final mistake which I see is massive. In an earlier video, I asked you what the number one purpose of your website is. If you remember, it is to build a list that you can either sell to today or in the future. But to achieve this, the website must be able to be found. When it is found, it needs to be functional, easy to navigate, have a lead generation strategy that is part of a proper sales funnel. Most websites are created by web developers and/or graphic designers. Their objective is to have a site that looks awesome, which is fine because we do want your site to look really great. But the real purpose of your site is for it to be a workhorse, not just pretty. Often web designers use lots of interesting flash imagery, incredible colors. The problem is with things like flash imagery is that they can load very slowly. Potential clients have already gone by the time the homepage loads. Also, these days, Google ranks websites on how fast they load. Google wants your experience in the search engine to be relevant and fast. We've discussed earlier how important images are in the sales process. This is only true if they're actually assisting that sales process. If they've been added to just look nice, then they are next to useless. They must tell a story or point someone in the right direction. Potential clients should be able to open a page, glance at the headlines, images and captions, and understand what your page is about. If they like what they see, and only then will they actually read your text. Pages that are just full of text, no headlines or images, will have people clicking away from your website in less than a second. Just another quick tip, the next thing that people read after the headlines are dot points. Look at your text to see if you can rearrange some of it to be viewed as dot points. It's a very powerful process. We spoke in an earlier video about that precious space above the fold on the first page. This space is like a $10 million piece of real estate. Make sure you use it wisely. Potential clients also need to be able to find their way around the site quickly. You should have navigation bars either across the top under the banner, in this section here, or down the left-hand side. Some websites have their navigation bars on the left-hand side. That's perfectly fine. The names of each section should be clear and precise. A potential customer should know in an instant where to go to find out extra information on their particular inquiry. It is also helpful to have a search bar in the top right-hand side of your banner as well. Some people may be looking for a specific product, service, or even a particular piece of information. They can find out if you have what they want in a few seconds with a good search bar. A lot of websites these days have what is called a right-hand widget. This is a column that runs down the right-hand side, often appears on all of the pages or most of the pages. You can add extra navigation to this section, showcasing your blog articles. You can have testimonials and specific sales messages. Make sure you limit the information you put here. If you have a well-designed website, the widget doesn't need to be on every page. The information on the widget should enhance the lead generation process, not become a massive distraction. The moment you give potential customers too many choices, they end up choosing nothing. I've seen websites where they have a dozen of different pieces of information as well as the information that is on the actual page itself. So when you get your person to go through your website, make sure they look at ease of navigation as well. So this is the last video. I hope you've learned a lot about making your website a much more effective lead generation and sales tool that will ultimately bring more profit to your business. You probably have a long list of changes that you need to make to your website. If you no longer have a web developer and you don't have access to the back end of your website, you don't even know how to make the changes yourself, give us a ring. We will give you a very competitive quote on getting your website up to scratch and turning it into a workhorse. If you would like us to complete a full review of your website so that you can ensure it is the workhorse you are really looking for, then we'd love to do this for free. This will ensure that when you get your web developer to make your changes, everything gets done. There's a form at the bottom of the page where you can fill in your details to request a review of your website. We will provide a report within 2 to 3 business days. And if you're ready to ensure your website sits at the top of Google, give us a ring and we can have a chat about what will be required to get you to be number one, whether it's your website or your Google Plus local listing. Again, it's been such a pleasure creating these videos for you. I'm passionate about helping small business create massive profits for their business. My final words are, if you need to make changes to your website and lead generation system, make sure you get it done as soon as possible. Google and YouTube have the capacity to bring a lot of customers to your business. Make the most of it before your competitors do. We wish you and your business great success, and remember, give us a ring if we can help in any way.